You don't fail at the beginning. Think about that for a moment. Sit with it. The beginning is not where you collapse. The beginning is actually where you feel most alive, most determined, most certain that this time will be different. You fail after you start. That is the thing nobody talks about. That is the uncomfortable truth sitting in the middle of every attempt you've ever made to change. You moved. You took real steps. You felt something shift inside you. And for a brief period of time, you were someone different, someone on their way somewhere. And then, quietly, without announcement, without a single dramatic moment, you were back. Back to where you started. Back to the version of yourself you were trying to leave behind. If that describes your life, stay with me. Because what I'm about to share with you is not motivation. It is not encouragement. It is a diagnosis. And I believe you already know the diagnosis is accurate because you have lived it more than once. Let's walk through what actually happens. You make a decision. Maybe it's a big one. Maybe it's small, but it's real. You feel the weight of the decision and it gives you energy. That energy becomes action. You start doing the thing. You start waking up earlier, or eating differently, or working towards something you said mattered. Days pass, maybe a week, maybe two. You feel momentum. You feel progress. You might even feel pride. And that pride is real. That progress is real. The movement is genuine. But then something happens. A day comes where the energy is not there the same way. You still show up, but it's a little harder. And then another day comes where something interrupts the routine. Life moves in the way it always moves, with its complications and its demands and its distractions. And instead of moving through it, you pause. Just a pause. Just a small one. But the pause turns into hesitation. The hesitation creates a gap. And in that gap, your old patterns live. They were waiting there the whole time. The hesitation grows. The structure loosens. And before any real breakdown occurs, before any single catastrophic event, the old behavior simply reappears. Not violently, not suddenly. It slides back in like it never left. Because in many ways, it never did. And here is what I need you to hear very clearly. You don't lose progress randomly. You lose it predictably. This is not chance. This is not bad luck. This is not the universe working against you. The pattern is predictable because the cause is consistent. The same thing that caused you to fall back last time is the same thing operating right now. And if you don't see it clearly, it will happen again in exactly the same way. So what is it? What is the cause? Most people believe the answer is discipline. They think they lack willpower. They think if they were just stronger, just more committed, just more serious, they would hold the progress they gained. They blame themselves at the level of character. They say things like, I'm just not built for consistency. I'm weak. I don't have what it takes. That is not the diagnosis. That is the confusion. This is not a lack of discipline. This is a lack of stabilization. There is a profound difference between those two things, and understanding that difference changes everything. Discipline is real, and we will talk about it. But what I'm describing is not a problem of effort. It is a problem of architecture. You built movement, and that is something to respect. You genuinely moved. But you did not build a system that could hold the movement after the initial energy faded. Think of it this way. If you build a structure on unstable ground, the structure will fall regardless of how well it was constructed. The problem is not the building. The problem is the foundation. You created momentum, but momentum is not a foundation. Momentum is movement, and movement without containment eventually dissipates. This brings us to a law, a simple law that governs almost every area of human behavior, and yet is almost never stated plainly. What is not stabilized will collapse. If you are trying to build momentum without a container, you are building for collapse. I have designed the free vessel inspection protocol to be that container. It is the diagnostic tool you need to stabilize your movement. The link is in the description. Download it and anchor your progress. Read that again slowly because it applies to everything you've ever tried to build. Progress without structure does not simply slow down, it fades. Action without a system does not simply weaken, it disappears. Momentum without containment does not simply settle, it dissolves. Because momentum is energy, and energy that has no container spreads until it becomes nothing. This is not philosophy. This is how things work. What you cannot sustain, you will eventually lose. Not maybe, eventually. Given enough time, given enough variability, given enough days where you are relying on something internal and inconsistent to hold you in place, the structure falls. And the timing of the fall is almost always predictable once you understand the mechanism. So let's look at the mechanism clearly. When you start making a change, what is actually powering that change? Most of the time, it is emotion. You felt something. You were moved by something. You saw a consequence clearly, or you felt pain sharply, or you were inspired by something, and that inspiration became fuel. And emotion is powerful. I'm not dismissing it. Emotion can initiate almost anything, but it cannot sustain anything alone, because emotion is by its nature temporary. It rises and it falls. It peaks and it recedes. You cannot schedule emotion. You cannot guarantee it will be present on a Tuesday afternoon when you are tired and distracted. Or perhaps it was motivation. Motivation is similar. It arrives when you need it, sometimes beautifully, powerfully, at exactly the right moment. But motivation's also a visitor, not a resident. It comes and goes on its own schedule, not yours. You cannot build a life on the arrivals and departures of a visitor. Or perhaps it was focus. You found a window of sharp, clear, burning focus. And inside that window, you moved faster than you had in years. But focus is perhaps the most temporary thing I have named. Focus depends on sleep and stress and circumstances and a dozen other factors you do not fully control. Emotion, motivation, focus, none of that is stable. And so when the emotion recedes, when the motivation visits someone else for a while, when the focus blurs because life became complicated, you are left with nothing structural holding you in place. And what has no structure holding it in place returns to its lowest point. You did not lose discipline. You never installed it structurally. Let me explain what that means, because I think this is the pivot point. Most people think of discipline as a feeling. They think of it as a kind of internal toughness that you either have or you don't. But that is not what discipline actually is in its most functional form. Real discipline, the kind that produces consistent results over long periods of time, is not a feeling at all. It is a structure. It is something you design and then submit to, not something you feel and then act on. And this is exactly what most people skip. They feel the initial burst of energy, and they act on it immediately, which is good, but they never take the second step, which is to design a structure that will hold them in place when the feeling is gone. They never create the architecture that will make the behavior continue on the days when they feel nothing, on the days when they are tired, on the days when old patterns are whispering. Progress without structure is temporary by design. I want you to understand that word design. It is not an accident that progress without structure fades. It is almost mechanically certain. The system is designed in a way that makes the collapse inevitable unless you intervene with architecture. So what is the architecture? What does stabilization actually look like? It is simpler than most people expect, and that simplicity is almost always underestimated. First, reduce variability. Every day that requires you to make a new decision about whether and how to continue is a day that introduces risk. Decision-making is exhausting. It requires energy. And on the days when your energy is low, which are the very days you most need your structure to hold you, decision-making is the thing that breaks you. You stand at the decision point, you feel nothing compelling you forward, and you choose the easier path. So the answer is to reduce the number of decisions, lock in the behavior, make it non-negotiable before the day begins. Second, remove decision points wherever possible. Your structure should not depend on you asking yourself, am I going to do this today? The answer should already be yes, because you decided it at a higher level, at a moment when you were clear and grounded, before the day pulled you in other directions. Third, fix the time and fix the action. Vague commitments produce vague results. If you tell yourself, I will exercise more, that is not a structure. That is a wish. A structure says, at this specific time, I do this specific thing. The specificity is not rigidity. The specificity is mercy. It removes the ambiguity that becomes the exit point. Fourth, repeat without negotiation, not with intensity necessarily, not with dramatic effort. Simply repeat. Show up to the fixed time and do the fixed action. Again, and again, and again. On the days you feel it and on the days you do not, especially on the days you do not. Stability comes from repetition under structure. And here I want to say something about discipline that I believe is deeply misunderstood. Discipline is not intensity. People imagine discipline as this forceful, grinding, white-knuckle thing. They imagine someone pushing themselves to the absolute edge of their capacity every single day. And that is not sustainable for most people, which is part of why they keep falling. Discipline is repetition that does not depend on how you feel. That is the whole definition. That is the entire thing. You do not need to feel motivated. You do not need to feel inspired. You do not need to feel strong. You need a structure, and you need to show up to it quietly, consistently, without drama and without negotiation. The person who exercises moderately every single day, regardless of mood or energy or circumstance, will produce more than the person who exercises intensely for 2 weeks and then collapses and restarts. The compound effect of consistency vastly outperforms the repeated peaks and valleys of intensity-driven effort. Now let me give you a reality check, because I think you need to hear this plainly. If your system changes every day, your results will reset every day. There's no other outcome. A system that shifts based on how you feel is not a system. It is improvisation, and improvisation has its place in life. But building a stable life is not one of them. You cannot improvise your way to consistency. You cannot feel your way to structure. You have to design it, and then you have to honor the design even when you don't feel like it. Think about your last attempt to change something meaningful. Think about the point where you fell back. Was there a structure in place? Was there a fixed time, a fixed action, a framework that was non-negotiable? Or was it held together primarily by feeling? I think you already know the answer. And the answer is not a judgment. It is information. It is the beginning of understanding what needs to be built differently. Because here is the final and perhaps most uncomfortable truth of everything I've shared. If you don't stabilize your progress, you will return to your baseline. Not gradually. You will return. And your baseline is exactly where you have been living. It is the default state your life reverts to when nothing is holding it in a different position. position. Your baseline is not where you want to be. If it were, you wouldn't be listening to this. You have a vision of something higher, something better, a version of your life that functions differently. But the gap between where you are and where you want to be is not crossed by inspiration alone. It is crossed by structure, maintained by structure, and preserved by structure. I want to be very clear with you about something, and I want you to receive this not as criticism, but as truth spoken with care. You don't fall back because you are weak. I need you to release that story. It is not serving you, and more importantly, it is not accurate. The people who keep falling back are not weak people. They are often deeply motivated people. They are people who care, people who try, people who genuinely want to change. The problem is not the quality of the person. The problem is the absence of the architecture. You fall back because nothing is holding you forward. And this is a design problem, not a character problem. A building that collapses in wind is not a bad building because of the materials. It may be a bad building because of the way it was connected. Change the connections, change the foundation, change the structural integrity, and the same materials that failed before will hold indefinitely. Until something holds you, you will keep returning. Until there is a system in place that does not depend on how you feel today, until there are fixed points that anchor you regardless of the weather inside your mind, until the structure is real and non-negotiable, the pattern will repeat. Not because you are condemned to it, but because the law is operating consistently, even when you wish it would make an exception for you. The law does not make exceptions. What is not stabilized will collapse. But here is the mercy inside that law. Because the same law that says what is not stabilized will collapse also implies something beautiful. What is properly stabilized will stand. What is anchored, what is structured, what is held in place through consistent design and faithful repetition, that thing does not fall. That thing grows. That thing compounds. That thing becomes over time something that others look at and call extraordinary, even though from the inside it was built by ordinary days that were simply kept. One day at a time. One decision already made. One action already committed to. One structure honored even when the feeling wasn't there. That is how lives are built. Not in the peaks, not in the moments of high emotion and burning clarity. In the ordinary repetition of a structure designed to hold. You have a vision. That vision is real. The desire inside you is real. The question is not whether you want to change. The question is whether you will build something that can hold the change. Build it today. Go to the description, download the free vessel protocol, and stop returning to your baseline. The construction begins now. Your soul is the blueprint. Your life is the construction. Shalom, my friend. Now let's build the life God designed for you.